Welcome to CityWise. I'm your host, Tiana Stevens. CityWise is produced by the City of Rochester to shine a spotlight on city living at its best. Well, every spring, talented youth from the city's art centers take part in a citywide showcase. Singers, rappers, dancers, poets, and visual artists compete for cash prizes and more. Tremaine Harris, health educator at the city's Department of Recreation and Youth Services, joins us today, along with Pierce Lockett, a recent ROC Stars Talent Show winner. Thanks for joining us today.
How you doing? Thank you.
So Tremaine, I mentioned your title there, but that doesn't really describe much. Tell us about yourself and what you do.
So I'm in the Bureau of Employment, Skills Training, and Youth Services.
Okay.
And I work on a comprehensive adolescent pregnancy prevention grant. That's
okay.
a lot.
That's a lot?
Yes. So I go to different schools, community agencies, do presentations around HIV/AIDS and healthy lifestyle.
You came from the Department of Recreation,
yes,
where you were involved with the talent show for many years, which
yes,
is what we're talking about today. How did the talent show get started?
So about 5 years ago, it was talks of the music programs in schools diminishing. So we came up with the idea to keep the music alive by having this talent show series. And from there, we come here today with what we have. And the first year was like a pilot, just get our feet wet, see how everything is going to go, and we totally changed it, and it's great. And
Pierce, you were the 2015 winner. Tell us what category and tell us about yourself.
I was the first place winner in the rap category.
Nice.
And I'm very, very simple. I'm more laid back, quiet, shy guy.
But yet on stage.
When I'm on stage, I turn into a totally different person.
So how did you hear about the talent show?
The youth program I was in, they just told me about it, and they said, you might as well do it. You love rapping, I'll think about it. But she yelled at me until I got it. So I just called them and sent in my quick audition through video on my cell phone. And here I am.
And so what happened after you sent that away?
What do you mean?
Waited to hear back? Did you have to do a performance on stage to make it to like the finals? How did that work?
I was kind of late in the audition process. So when I called him and we was talking about it, he said if I could send a quick video or if I could come in and audition in front of a few people, and I had to be at work by a certain time, so I couldn't. So I just sent the little audition video in and heard back within a few days or so.
And what was it like actually taking the stage at the final performance?
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. It was very exciting. Anytime I see a stage and I see a bunch of people in the crowd, I tend to really, really fall in love with it.
You're at home there.
Yeah, that's my place where I'm most comfortable at.
What are some of the other categories, Tremaine, that kids compete in?
So it's singing, of course, the rap, poetry, dance, and visual arts. So with the visual artists, they send in a high resolution art piece. So from there, we pick 10 of the art pieces to be displayed at the actual finale. And judges pick the top 3.
And of the winners, something very special comes out of that, along with the great cash prizes. Tell us what that is.
So yeah, the cash prize, they get a trophy, and also the singer and rapper do a collaboration song. So they record, and a poet, and they record a song and do a music video at the end of the project. Which
you brought with, and we're going to take a look at the first preview video that you're loaning to us. We're very lucky to see it. We'll have a look.
Stars what we all are. Though not on the par perfect, with dedication we can change the masterpiece we call home. Our intelligence has risen because we have looked at the stars. While we interchange drama, we put down our future stars thinking they don't meet the bar. But in reality, they are the setters for it. Dripping with potential, tying it down with chains. Yet we rack our brains to see where we went wrong. We must come together for the better of our future generations who look at us for an example. We must make sure that their life does not become a bust. Change is necessary. Open your eyes and look into the stars. Stars, stars, stars.
And that's a very well done video. And Pierce, you're smiling the whole time through that. What was it like being on camera for that?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it. It was a lot of repetition. You had to go over it a few times.
Do another take.
Yeah, and that was, I would just sit there and think, like, it's not good enough yet. We ain't done. I want to go home. They would be like, nope, a few more times. I don't think I like y'all very much. Just real simple stuff, but it was fun.
How was the collaborative process of working with a singer and a poet? How do you guys come up with something that speaks to the personality of all of you guys?
I don't know. I normally do music by myself, so to collaborate with a poet and a singer, it was a different experience. The topic of the song was hard, thanks to Tremaine.
Oh, so did you provide them with the topic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So ROC Stars is the theme.
Okay.
But this year's talent show was transformation through the arts. So it's how did they transform from before ROC Stars to where they are now. So all the lyrics for the rapper and the poet had to write their own, but the producers, they wrote the lyrics for the song this year. Okay.
Now, Pierce, you've been writing, rapping since you were little, 11 years old. Transformation, what does that mean to you as you've developed as an artist?
To me, it means how much I've grown throughout my whole writing process. I feel like I've grown a lot.
What sort of changes have you noticed in yourself?
I'm more confident about the stuff I write. I'm still careless at the same time because it doesn't really matter if people like it or not. I know I like it. Somebody in my family likes it. I know a few friends that might think I'm one of the best rappers in Rochester. I'll hear it often, but I'm not one to really toot my own horn. I'm lying. I will eventually, but yeah, it just shows how much I've grown and how more well put together I am with my writing.
And you were telling me earlier that prior to ROC Stars, you had another performance, didn't quite go your way, and you were kind of ready to give up on taking it to the stage, but what made you change your mind?
The constant yelling from my boss, really. If it wasn't for her,
encouragement.
If it wasn't for her, I probably would have just been like, nah, I don't want to do it. Because of the experience I had, the music just cut off in the middle of my verse. And I had to walk into the back like, what's going on? And then it came right back on, so I had to run back to the stage to continue my verse. And it was frustrating for me because I thought about it the whole time I was rapping, so I wasn't as excited and energized as I was in the beginning.
Kind of knocked you down for a minute, but you got back up and you won first place this year. What is the process like for you as a writer? Where do you get your inspiration, and do you go to a quiet place to do your writing? How do you operate?
I don't know. I don't really have a source of inspiration. I just write whatever comes to me. I could just be sitting on the couch watching TV and I'll just think of something. I'll just hear a word and I feel like I can make a sentence out of that and make another sentence and make another sentence. And I'll just put together at least a full 8-bar verse just off of that. And yeah, but as far as quiet places, I'll just go in my room and plug my phone up to the little speaker I have and turn on the music, and whatever starts flowing, I'll just write it.
Nice, nice. Tremaine, can you tell us about some of the other winners this year that are featured in the video?
Jenna Reed, she won first place for the singing part, and I brought a second place winner in, which was Johnny Harris. She came in second place, and they were so close, so I was like, I gotta take them both.
They sound great.
Yes.
Yes.
And we have Chris Johnson, he was the poet winner, and our dancer was Kanijah Holloman.
Nice. How do you choose between all of this great talent? What's the judging like? So
the audition process, we start with our SOAR Youth Leadership Team, and that's Sexuality, Outreach, Advocacy, and Resources. So our leadership team, they plan the whole ROC Stars, down from the logistics of registration, stage management, the lighting, everything. They work together on it. And these are big events. Big events. Yes. And they tell the adults what to do. So they basically run the audition, and they pick, I say sometimes it could be 40 to 70 people that come and audition each year. And from that, they pick around 30, and that includes the visual artists also. So once they go through that audition process, those winners, the finalists, go to the finale. And you actually brought us a series of videos, so we're gonna take a look at video 2, preview for the ROC Stars winners. I can see why she won first place, but the quality of the video is also really top notch. What goes into producing that, and who is putting that together? So Adrian Elam, he's with Brotherhood Productions. He did a phenomenal job, and working with the youth, getting their input, their ideas, and my crazy vision, he put it all together for the finished product, which you'll see soon. And he just made it really easy on the youth. Challenging, but easy, where they could, like Pierce said, the constant, oh, we gotta do this over, we gotta do this over. Even when we finally finished everything, he said, no, we gotta do a couple more scenes. So I hated him for that. But all the youth, they really enjoyed and appreciated the constructive criticism and the direction of where they had to go. Sure. Pierce, what have you learned from this long experience?
Not really learned anything.
Did you find out anything that you didn't know before?
I found that I can get along with people very well.
Good.
Found that out. Because I'm so quiet and so reserved to where I really don't speak to people. I would say hi, crack a smile here and there, and leave it at that. But getting to know everybody and have a few semi-deep conversations, I learned a little bit more about myself. Shows that I could open up. This is the first time collaborating with other artists on a project? Very. Yeah. I liked the experience. It was very fun. What's the feedback been on the finished video so far? So, well, no, I haven't even seen
Okay. Or how about the preview videos that have
final yet? But the previous videos, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback from it. They would say it looked professional, down to the production part of it. Like I said, we work with some great producers. Like this year was Dave and Tony. They were, I call them musical geniuses, you know, and they have their own music that they do, and they were able to provide us with phenomenal music. And our other years, we had Mark. He works for actually worked for the city. He did 1 year. He produced one of the songs, and why is the name going blank? Jay Laron. We basically started out with him, and he's went on to do music with major artists. So
where can people see the videos from previous years?
So the previous years, the videos are on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's under either 2014 or 2015 ROC Stars music video. So you can definitely find them on YouTube.
And we'll have this one on the City of Rochester's YouTube when it's ready. We're going to roll it in on City 12 TV. How do you feel, Pierce, when you see yourself on the screen?
Meaning as in a video?
In a video.
Oh, I don't know. I don't like how I look. I really don't.
Kids, you can be very critical about.
Yeah.
I understand.
It's more of, dang, I really look that evil. Even in a happy environment, I still look like I'm mad. I don't know why. But I like the experience overall, but the video is real nice.
Yeah,
it's real nice. I love that. It's very well produced. But as far as it goes for me, I don't know. I feel like I could have cracked a smile or something. I don't know. I just look so evil. I hate that about myself.
Well, you're smiling now, so everybody knows. You do smile. You're a happy guy.
I ain't doing it again.
Tremaine, why is this important to showcase youth in this way in Rochester?
I feel it's very important because Pierce and everybody else could be doing something else, and we know the negative, but we try to bring out the positive in all the artists. And I like to call they're youth, but they are artists because that is a craft.
Yes.
And when they're engaged in positive programming events, it takes away from all that other negative things that they could be doing, and eventually it can bridge that gap that we have with youth and adult, where youth don't understand the adult don't understand the youth. So this is bringing everything together, because going through the process, they have to work with adults, obviously, and work with their peers. So, but bridging that gap with youth and adult I feel will help Rochester in the end.
Pierce, why is music important to you?
It's very important to me because I feel like I have something to vent my problems into. If I feel like things aren't going the way they should, or it's just very, very important for me, because with me being so quiet, I don't really speak up as much. If there's a problem, I'll speak up about it, but I feel like I could put that into my music.
Gives you an outlet.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just vent my frustrations in the music. It helps.
Great job. Congratulations again, and we'll be looking forward to the finished product. For more information on ROC Stars and any other City R Center programs, visit cityofrochester.gov/rcenters, and don't forget to look for the full-length ROC Stars 2015 video right here on City 12. We'll also post it to the city's YouTube channel. Well, at Maplewood Library in Northwest Rochester, there's so much more to check out than just books. The branch has become a community gathering place where people work together to help others get a fresh start and help make the American dream come true. The following story was produced by Helene Bienduty Hofer and journalist Marty Kaufman on the Need to Know program at WXXI, our City 12 partners.
This may look like your typical library, but it certainly doesn't sound like it.
We actually have people who applaud the noise level, saying, I feel comfortable bringing my child. I don't have to worry about shushing them all the time.
It's loud, but it's loud in a good way. It's loud that there's learning going on and that the kids aren't in here being rowdy, being disruptive. They're in here learning, and they're excited about their learning.
And for some of the kids, it's not just about learning how to solve math problems or getting help on school projects. Children's librarian Marcia Thor says it's also about the basics, learning how to speak and write English.
A lot of refugee families were moving into the neighborhood. They were here, some were here before that, but a big influx happened in 2008 with Burmese, Thai, and Nepali families.
Where are you from? I come from Burma.
So in 2008, the Maplewood Library responded. It hired literacy aides to work with refugee kids who relocated to the Maplewood neighborhood. Eventually, there was such a demand for services, the library hired more staff. And today, the need continues.
Our latest one is from Somalia, but we don't have anyone who speaks Somalia right now. So it's trying to work our way into giving them the homework help, plus the routine, learning the routines here in the library. But we work at it.
My English not really good because I just arrived here last year. I get a lot of help from this library to learn and stuff, to get knowledge and stuff.
So we got to undo the fraction is our deal here. So we're going to leave this out here.
My mom says she gonna move. She gonna move to other place, but I said I don't want to move because our library is important for me.
I'll look and see what other preschools are kind of have transportation and are in the area, and then
For literacy aide Josh Quarles, learning a non-native language at Maplewood Library is a two-way street.
Some of the parents would come in, especially around the start of school, and they would have all of the emergency contact paperwork and all that stuff that kind of needed to be done. And it was lots of charades at first, trying to figure out how you would explain your address, your phone number. You said you wanted 7th school to be the first choice, right? I started to ask some of the older kids who knew their language and then knew enough English, how do you say house? How do you say phone number? And so gradually I would just pick up more and more, and actually have the notebook of it that I would just jot everything down in.
There's daycare and story time in the mornings.
Good.
Homework help and a teen zone for kids when school lets out.
So you just plug in these and then subtract.
But it's definitely not just young people involved in the library's many programs.
Let's look at this. Jackie, why don't you actually start us off with reading our top here.
For Jackie Pratt, the library's free GED class is giving her that second chance at college dreams and much, much more.
I want to make a homeless shelter for the homeless people out here, and they guarantee to have their bed there. And there I will have a cook on all the time, so they wouldn't have to eat just one time and go to bed hungry. There I have little snacks and stuff, and then I want to open my restaurant up next door to her.
And then there's also the program for adults learning English.
Everyone means all the people.
In addition to a citizenship class.
Just spell me the citizen, please.
CIT.
Participants say the benefits are beyond what the casual eye may see.
Good.
One of my friends said they don't have class here, and then they don't have to go, just stay home. Sometimes they can get depression, but it's in here very helpful for our feel better, and then we got more English.
You have work, son?
Children's librarian Marcia Thor says they're able to do a lot with a little. The library depends on volunteers and grants for some of its programs, as city funding for Maplewood, like other libraries in the country, remains flat. But rather than focus on the challenges, this family, as they call themselves, chooses to focus on learning and building dreams.
Do you want to build something today?
And they plan to do just that for years to come.
The city's Maplewood Branch Library is located at 1111 Dewey Avenue. It's open every day except Sunday, and you can call 428-8220 for branch hours and program information. Thanks for joining us on this edition of CityWise. I'm Tiana Stevens, and we'll see you next week. Opinions expressed by guests appearing on CityWise do not necessarily reflect those of the host, WXXI staff, or any entity of or affiliated with the City of Rochester. If you have questions, comments, or program suggestions, contact CityWise at 311 or 428-1201 or send us an email, citywise@cityofrochester.gov.